Hey, it's Ryan Chernachan. I'm here to do a unboxing and a setup and then seasoning of my brand new Masterbuilt DUAL FUEL smoker. Now, I am a complete rookie amateur at smoking meats. I have never owned or set up a smoker in my life, so if you're in the same boat, then this is going to be a good video for you. Or if you're thinking about buying this smoker, this is probably going to be a great video for you too. And I'm going to also talk a little later as to why I actually chose this smoker over some of the other more well-known brands like the Weber Smokey Mountain, for example. So stay with me. I'm going to unbox this, open it, set it up. I'm not going to take you through the entire setup because it's probably going to be very boring. But if I do come across something that I think is interesting to note, then I will point that out. All right, so here we go. Let's do it. Okay. There. Lucky me. Let's open this up. Alright, so we got neatly packed boxes. There we go. Four boxes. We've got 4 boxes. Now, first impressions is it's narrower this way than I had imagined, width-wise. It's not as wide as I thought, but that's not going to be an issue. I'm never going to cook more meat than this thing can cook anyway. I'm just never going to cook that much barbecue. So great. It's single wall sides and back and the top, which is okay. It's very wobbly right now because actually I've noticed that the bottom floor pan is actually on a slight angle on purpose, I think, because there's a drain on one side that is supposed to help drain out grease and things like that. So the bottom is actually slanted by design, so it's a little bit wobbly. But yeah, other than that, it looks really good. This door here is double wall. It's 2 pieces of metal here. Everything else is single wall construction. Yeah, so there we go. So I'm going to open up the manual and the instruction manual, open up these boxes, and start to build it. Okay, tools needed: adjustable wrench, Phillips head screwdriver. Okay, so now we're at the thermometer. So what I read and saw online is that this thermometer actually is hit or miss. It might not be very accurate. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. So I was suggested that I actually calibrate this thermometer. So that's what I'm going to do now. Let's go find out how accurate this is before we actually install it. Okay, so I'm going to take my temperature probe. Okay, see it there. I've got this set to Celsius, Celsius, because it's a more accurate number on the thermometer, but we're going to put this into the boiling water, and you can see, well, you can see that you've got 100, 99.9, you got 100 degrees Celsius, which is boiling. Okay, so that's good. And now we're going to try this thermometer. We have got 100 degrees right on. I don't know if, hopefully you can see that in the camera. But that is bang on 100 degrees. Awesome. Okay, so let's put this thermometer in. Now, if that thermometer gauge was not showing the accurate temperature, there is a nut on the back, and you take your wrench and you hold the nut with the wrench, and you can actually twist the thermometer until the needle is on 100.
Hold the adjusting nut under the head of the food thermometer and turn the head so the thermometer reads 100 degrees Celsius.
So that's how you calibrate it back to 100 or up to 100 if it was off at all. But hopefully you could see it in that video. It's hard to look at the camera monitor while I was filming that, but it was bang on 100 degrees Celsius or 212 Fahrenheit, which is boiling. And then you could see I tested that with my probe, which also hit 100 Celsius or 212 Fahrenheit. So maybe I'll explain now why I chose this smoker over some of the other bigger brands, if you want to say that. If anyone watches or follows Harry Sue, that Harry Sue has won over 100 barbecue competitions using the the Weber Smokey Mountain. And that alone should probably be enough recommendation just to immediately go buy that one. But one of the reasons why I really liked this unit instead was because of my schedule. I rarely have a full day that I can devote to barbecue that's not going to be interrupted at some point with either my work or my kids or something going on. So what I liked was the ability to have a more of a set it and forget it situation, which would be the propane aspect to this smoker, because the smoker is dual fuel, so you could either cook with propane or you could cook with charcoal and wood, or propane and wood, of course, to flavor the meat, but you could also cook with charcoal, so propane or charcoal. And from the reviews and everything that I read online, basically what I came to understand was that propane is far easier to use. It's a more set it and forget it style, but the flavor of the barbecue is likely a little better if you used charcoal, because charcoal itself, I believe, gives off some smoke as well, and so that adds to the smokiness and the flavor. So I thought with buying this, I could sort of get the best of both worlds. If I know my schedule is going to be so hectic that I can't watch the smoker like a hawk for 8 to 10 hours straight, then maybe I do the cook with propane. And if I know I've got a rare full day off, where I'm going to be around the smoker at all times and I can look at it, and when the charcoal burns out and the wood burns out, I can constantly be there to put new charcoal back in. If that day comes, then I can attempt the charcoal and the wood version. So you get both, and I really liked that flexibility based around how busy I am that day to make the barbecue. And then I even read further that some people actually start off the cook with this, with the charcoal and wood. Then after 3 or 4 or 5 hours, when the charcoal and the wood has died down, they finish the cook with propane, and that for the remainder of the cook is more of the set it and forget it type situation. So you actually get you actually can use both in combination with each other. So all of those things factored into the decision to buy this over the Weber Smokey Mountain, just purely because of the ease and probably for its use, its ability for me to use it on busier days when I still want to attempt some barbecue. The price was also a small factor, but here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, this was 250 Canadian dollars at Home Depot. The Weber Smokey Mountain is 440, I believe, on Amazon Canada at the time of this video. So, an extra, almost an extra $200 for the Weber Smokey Mountain, and you didn't get the flexibility. Now, I have, in the reviews and the videos I've seen, I have noticed that people basically suggest this is a pretty good propane smoker and an okay charcoal and wood smoker, whereas I'm going to guess the Weber Smokey Mountain is a great charcoal and wood smoker. So I think there's going to be a trade-off there, but I'm willing to make that trade-off if it just means I can cook more barbecue. So there you go. Okay. All right, so that took me, all done. That took me, it's 5 o'clock. I started at 3:30, so that took me an hour and a half to set it up, and that's including dealing with the filming and the testing of the thermometer gauge here. So yeah, about an hour and a half for someone that knows very little about setting up barbecue smokers, or really anything for that matter. But yeah, there we are. So I'm now going to season this. I'm not going to cook anything on it today. It's too late in the day for me to do that. So I'm going to season it, and then I'm going to do another video later as my first cook, and I'm going to do either a brisket or maybe some pork ribs. I haven't really decided yet, but yeah, let's season it and see how that goes. All right. So I am now going to spray the entire inside with cooking spray. Canola oil is good. This is made with canola oil, PAM, or you can just use regular canola oil spray. I've just been told not to use olive oil, extra virgin olive oil spray, but anything else is worthy. So I'm going to just spray basically every inch. Some guys on YouTube said that they should, or that people that own this smoker should put a gasket or a felt liner around the outside of the door to keep the smoke in. But then I read a few things that said that that's actually not what you should be doing. because the smoker actually needs to breathe. There needs to be an ability for the smoke to leave. Otherwise, you're going to over smoke your food and really ruin your food. So, yeah, I'm not going to do any modification like that to it. I'm not going to put the liner around the inside of the door. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got it. We've got it sprayed down. Now I'm going to leave that out. I'm going to do the soapy water test. You're supposed to put soapy water on the connections. And if there's any leaks, gas leaks, you're supposed to be able to see it. So let's try and start this up. Here we go. Okay. There we go. Lit right up. Hopefully you guys can see that. There it is. Alright, so the instructions said to actually bring the temperature of this up to 350 degrees and let it sit for 1 hour. Let it sit for 1 hour and then let it cool down. Then bring it back up to 350 again for 20 minutes. Respray it, sorry, once it cools down, respray it again. Then bring it back up to 350 for another 20 minutes. So an hour, spray it, and then another 20 minutes. So I'm going to do something along those lines. I'm going to let it get up to temp. It's now reaching almost 200 Fahrenheit already. It's been on for maybe, I don't know, 20 seconds, and we're up to 200. And then once it gets around 300, I'm going to turn it down. Because otherwise I think it'll go, I've seen it on YouTube on reviews, go past 400. So I also don't see any bubbles of any kind. No, I don't see anything. No bubbles forming. No soapy, no water or bubbles being displaced, so I don't see any leaks. So there we go, we're up to 300 already, and we're, I don't know, a minute in. So I'm going to now turn this down and see if we can just keep the temperature steady at 350, which it looks like it's already doing. It looks like it's holding there at 350. Oh, it's rising a little, so I'm gonna take it down. Oh, yeah, turn it down a little bit more. Oops, dropping now. Yeah, okay, it's still going. Now I've got all the vents closed. So there we go. Let's see here. Yeah, 350. Ooh, it's climbing up a little, so I'm going to turn this down a little more. We're almost at the low, and we're pushing past 350 now. But it's just now hovering at around the 360. I'm sure this doesn't need to be exact, but I'm just trying to see how easy it is to maintain a specific temperature. And it's pretty much maintaining now 360. you're able to dial in that temperature, and that's part of the reason why I really wanted, or part of the reason why I bought this, is for that ability to really just dial it in and set it and forget it if you have to. But what I'm going to do in my first cook is I'm actually going to not use propane. I think I'm going to try it with lump charcoal, and wood chunks. I have some lump charcoal and wood chunks, and I'm going to try it that way first and cook something, and I'll film it and put it on my channel. And then what I think I'm going to do is actually put it head to head with my Weber Q2200, just a little Weber gas barbecue that I've got. I thought before buying this that my plan would be to actually buy a smoker tube, a pellet tube, and just use my little Weber barbecue as a smoker. And then of course you get looking at reviews and watching videos, and you just kind of go down the rabbit hole, and one thing leads to another, and now you've bought a smoker. So I'm going to be trying it against my Weber with a pellet tube, and then cooking this propane as well. So I got a couple more videos at least to show you guys, one with charcoal and wood, one with propane and wood. So here we are, and it is, again, just holding steady. Alright, well there you have it. I hope that's helped. If you've bought this smoker and you're curious to know how the setup goes and sort of what maybe you might want to do to it to start your smoking, so stay with the channel. I'm going to do a couple more cooks, like I said, coming up, and we'll see how this goes. I'm a total rookie. I've never smoked anything meat-wise in my life, so I've done barbecue on a grill, but that's it. So no smoked barbecue. So my mistakes might be your mistakes. So stay with me, and we'll see how it goes. All right. Well, thanks for watching so far. Bye for now.